The quarterback situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers has recently taken an unexpected and rather troubling turn, one that could have significant consequences for their 2025 season. A position that many fans assumed would already have a definitive starter, named for the upcoming year, is now embroiled in uncertainty. This is largely due to the prolonged indecision of Aaron Rodgers, who continues to weigh his options and decide whether he wants to retire or return to play professional football. What's making matters even more complicated for Pittsburgh fans is that Rodgers has become the center of ongoing speculation. For weeks, the Steelers have been strongly positioning themselves to secure Rodgers as their starting quarterback. But there's still no official commitment. Rodgers, despite being an all-time great and future Hall of Famer, has taken his time, making the choice of whether to retire or continue his career. His delay has kept the NFL world, especially the Steelers organization, on edge. The tension surrounding Rodgers' future reached a new height on Wednesday when Alec Lewis, a well-known reporter covering the Minnesota Vikings for The Athletic, posted a thought-provoking update on social media. In his post, Lewis revealed a stunning comment from Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, the general manager of the Vikings, who refused to dismiss the idea of potentially bringing Rodgers to Minnesota. While the comment was cryptic and Adolfo-Mensah didn't commit to pursuing Rodgers outright, the mere fact that the possibility is still on the table has raised serious questions. In the world of NFL front offices, every word is carefully measured, especially when it comes to a highly public and scrutinized situation like this. The decision to not categorically close the door on an offer for Rodgers can easily be interpreted as a subtle indication that the Vikings are keeping their options open. This is a dramatic shift for Pittsburgh, as they have been working under the assumption that Rodgers would be their clear-cut answer at quarterback for the 2025 season. Now, the possibility of losing out on Rodgers to another team could completely derail their plans, forcing them to consider other options that may not be as appealing or promising for the future. The potential for Minnesota to swoop in and sign Rodgers represents a major shift in the quarterback market. It's no secret that the Vikings are already set at the position with Kirk Cousins, but if Rodgers were available, it would make sense that they might be tempted to make a move. This leaves Pittsburgh in a vulnerable spot. Rodgers, who may have been leaning toward ending his career with the Steelers, might now be reconsidering whether another opportunity, perhaps one with more potential for immediate success and a Super Bowl appearance, could be more enticing. This uncertainty is compounded by the fact that Rodgers and Minnesota head coach Kevin O'Connell share a positive professional relationship. The two have a history that has created fertile ground for speculation. The connection between O'Connell and Rodgers has made it much easier for the Vikings to engage in discussions about the possibility of adding the quarterback to their roster. Adolfo-Mensah, when speaking to the media on Wednesday, alluded to this dynamic, fueling further speculation about a potential offer to Rodgers. Many fans and analysts have criticized Rodgers for taking so long to make a decision. But in reality, this is the first time in his career that he's been in this position, free agency. For the entirety of his illustrious career, Rodgers has been a Green Bay Packer. Now that he's free to negotiate with any team, he has the unique opportunity to explore his options in a way that he never has before. It's clear that Rodgers is taking this decision seriously, and it's understandable that he would want to weigh every possibility before committing to a final choice. The chance to play for a team with Super Bowl aspirations could be incredibly tempting, and this uncertainty has only added more drama to the ongoing saga. Rodgers' decision is further complicated by the fact that despite all the talk, the Steelers have not been able to definitively secure him yet. He could very well be contemplating retirement. After all, Rodgers has already had an incredibly successful career, and walking away with his legacy intact is a viable option. But there is also the very real possibility that he is simply waiting for a more appealing situation to emerge. Perhaps he's keeping his options open to see if a team with a better roster or a clearer shot at a championship appears. This makes his decision-making process far more complex and, in turn, more frustrating for Pittsburgh fans who have pinned their hopes on him leading them to a Super Bowl. The timing of Adolfo Mensa's comments has sparked even more uncertainty in Pittsburgh. It's clear that the general manager didn't completely shut down the idea of pursuing Rodgers, which means that the Vikings could still be quietly angling for him behind the scenes. This ambiguity is frustrating for Steelers fans who had hoped that by now a deal with Rodgers would be finalized, securing him as the team's starting quarterback for 2025 and beyond. Adolfo Mensa's statement essentially opens the door for the Vikings to potentially make a late play for Rodgers, leaving Pittsburgh in a state of limbo. If the Vikings are indeed making a push for Rodgers, the Steelers might find themselves in a race against time, hoping to convince the quarterback that Pittsburgh offers the best chance for success. Rodgers' eventual decision will likely be a combination of factors, including his desire for a championship, the leadership and potential of the team that offers him a contract, and, of course, his personal relationship with the coaches and front office personnel. The pressure is on for Pittsburgh to finalize their pitch and convince Rodgers that they are the right destination. As the clock continues to tick down toward the 2025 season, the uncertainty surrounding Rodgers' future will only intensify. While many still believe that the Steelers are the front-runner for his services, the cryptic comments from Minnesota's general manager have added a level of intrigue that makes it impossible to know for sure what will happen next. For Steelers fans, this situation is a source of anxiety,